What do you say, baseball fans? Rye Bread talking baseball, episode 33. Astros and Angels had center stage last night. Did not disappoint. Astros had control of that game. Should have scored more than they did. End up coming back to bite them. Jared Walsh, single, double, homer. Justin Upton hits a laser. And all of a sudden the Angels are walking out of there with a win that the Astros probably should have had. And it's huge because now the Angels have Shohei going tonight against McCullers, and they can sneak in and get their second series win in a row against two tough teams. I didn't see that coming. But a lot of baseball to be played there in Houston, and as we all know, tough place to play. I expect another great game out there tonight. But you're going to have to switch back between A's, Red Sox, Yankees, Rays. We'll get there eventually. But before we go, we have to touch on Mike Trout scoring from first base on a double. And you see him chugging around the line. That guy's a manimal. I'm not saying he should have played another sport by any means, but he could have. Imagine that guy toting the rock or playing safety. We're lucky to have Mike Trout playing baseball. That's an impressive looking individual running around the bags. My goodness. That relay throw from Correa would have had 90% of the league, and he's a big dude. It's really cool. Almost as cool as Cedric Mullins running out a pop fly for a triple against the Red Sox. That was awesome. But I can't do it any justice. You got to see it. The O's get one from the Red Sox. Red Sox looking forward maybe a little bit to this big series with the A's they have starting up. Might as well just get right into that. A's, Red Sox. I was going to take it plus 112, but I'm doing one game a day, and it's a Rays house, so we're going to take the Rays plus 110 instead of A's plus 112. Which just seems like, Eovaldi doesn't scare me. And Bassett's been good. But it's at home for the Red Sox. You understand why they're favored. This is a matchup for American League supremacy, baby. We're about 20% into the season, and these are the two best teams in the American League. First place teams with 22 and 21 wins, respectively. You're about 35 games into the year. May 10th, May 11th. You're getting about 20 wins at this point. Those are the teams. And if you look at it, you've got the Red Sox, the A's, the Cardinals, and the Giants. All these first place teams about 20% into the season, sitting where we probably thought they were, except for the Giants. Probably expected to see the Dodgers there instead. But the A's and Red Sox tonight, I don't know how I'm going to switch back between all these awesome games because the platform doesn't let me. I think the A's are going to surprise the Red Sox tonight. I don't think Eovaldi knows what's coming. Those A's are relentless, man. And then Yankees at Rays. Montgomery is no secret to the Rays, and Luis Patino is a limited sample size. And the Rays have just dominated the Yankees. I fail to see why the Rays are the dog here, so I'm just taking the Rays as the dog. And I would have taken the A's if they were at home in the dog. But a home dog, I got to stay with it. The matchup of the night, though, still, even though this is a Rays house, A's at Red Sox. You got to go back and forth. A's at Red Sox, Yankees at Rays, Angels at Astros. Man, I wish there was a way we could watch all those games at the same time without blackout restrictions. My goodness. The American League Central has some good pitching matchups today that we'll get to later. But for now, let's switch over to the NL. Padres at Rockies. Giants finishing up their set with Texas, like we said. And then the Dodgers hosting that tough Seattle team that we keep on talking about. It's a huge number, minus 235. It's just too expensive. I think the Dodgers win this game, but man, minus 235 is what you'd expect to pay if the Dodgers were playing like the Dodgers. And frankly, they just haven't been. So it's just an expensive number. I think that all of the NL West wins today, frankly. Padres, Giants, and Dodgers. Giants stay 2 games up in the NL West, I think. Which it's, here we are, it's May 11th now, and the Giants are still in first place. NL Central, the Brewers are all over the IL, got a couple of guys back, but they need to stay afloat here with Peralta against Kim. They have the advantage pitching tonight. St. Louis is 2 games up on them in the Central. Brewers are still our pick if they can get healthy, but they need to stay afloat here. while they're in this rough patch. Pirates and Reds. I'm putting the Pirates in the penalty box one day, but JT Brubaker is going tonight for the Pirates. It's an interesting number there. But the Todd Frazier DFA gets you a one-day suspension in the penalty box. Pitching matchups for tonight that we don't want to miss. Pablo Lopez at Madison Bumgarner, Miami at the Diamondbacks. Maybe you'd give that a pass normally. Bumgarner is pitching very well. Bumgarner looks like he knows what he's doing out there. He's made the adjustment. And then with Brady Singer at Matt Boyd, you're going to get a well-pitched game in the Central, one that you might normally give a pass. And then another number that jumped out at me is a little bit strange. Baltimore's John Means, is coming off that amazing performance, and Stroman of the Mets. It's a minus 157 number for the Mets. And we talked about it earlier that pitchers coming off of no-hit performances generally see some regression in their next start. And I think that number is at play here for Mets minus 157. I think the Mets win this game, and I like watching Stroman anyway. But it seems like a bigger number than I would have anticipated. So before we go, though, Yankees at Rays, A's at Red Sox, and Astros hosting the Angels. Try and find a way to switch back between these games. And then you've still got check in on DeMelson the Met. I'll do that for you. But the A's at Red Sox, Yankees at Rays, Angels at Astros, it just continues to pound the drum for that East-West wild card thing that's going on. These games carry so much meaning because they don't meet each other 19 times a year. But when it comes down to it, the direct competition for that second wild card is going to come back at these games. So I'm just so excited to see how it plays out, and we'll be all over it for you. I downloaded MLB The Show, and I'm going to get into playing a couple games. If you guys know what you're doing with that, I'd appreciate a little help. Old guy on the PlayStation here. But MLB The Show, so far so good. It looks incredible. And if you're at the Trop and you're getting hungry, Clearwater, Florida, Bascom's Chop House, best steakhouse in the city, best wine list in the city. Tell them I sent you. You won't be disappointed out there. Bascom's Chop House. And I keep on forgetting to say my Siargao guide out there in the Philippines. My boy Javi runs a tight ship. Take some time out of your day. Type in Bravo Beach Resort, Siargao, Philippines, and just relax a little bit. Put your feet up. All right, we'll be back again tomorrow to cover these games. We're going to do 162.